Hey, how you doing? I'm here to tell you about my book, the Seminar, and it's by Reuven Breyer. That's me. And basically, the Seminar is a nonfiction and a fiction book all rolled into one. Maybe you've been reading some of my blogs, and most of my blogs have to do with the nonfiction aspect of the book. It's a seminar titled 50 Passageways to Riches that these people are invited to in a very curious way. But the narrator of the book is an aspiring actress who's out of work, and of course she's trying to attain riches. So she goes to this wealth attainment seminar titled 50 Passageways to Riches, and I've been writing about some of these 50 subjects or passageways to riches, and the content is really good. It's very valuable, and it's very timely with what we have right now going on in the world with global unemployment and downturned economy, world hunger. So there's a lot of valuable content that could lead you on to the actual passageways to riches. So the question is about the fictional part of the book. Can I tell a story? Well, one of the nonfiction things that I wrote about the other day was about belief systems and about how the eye works. You know, when I was 8 years old, I was fascinated by the eye, so I wrote a book on the human eye. And the eye, of course, is the window to the soul. And the eye, basically, it, in a nutshell, I want to be brief because I'm really tired. I just ate this huge meal, and I got to tell you about this meal. This meal, I cooked this brisket tonight. It was late, and first I baked it for about 15-20 minutes, and I guess it was about 5-6 pounds worth of meat. So I baked it, I spiced it up, garlic, pepper, salt, some Italian seasoning, some other spices. And so I baked it for about 15 minutes, and then I took it out of the oven and I put it in a skillet with some water in it, maybe 3 cups of water, again 5 pounds of meat. And I added some onions and some more spice. And then I let it slowly boil for about, another 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes. And it came out, it was to faint for. My 3 APBTs, my American Pit Bull Terriers, they gathered around, they could smell it, and they saw me eating, and when they see me eating, they assume they're going to eat. And of course, they do eat when I'm eating. So they helped me out a little bit, but it was to faint for. It was out of this world. It was so good. And I'm on this diet. I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago. I started what I call the seminar diet, and I'm logging all my meals that I'm eating so I can share it with you. I started this diet weighing in at 238 pounds. And I just took my dogs for a walk, and the 3 dogs, well, Lovin, he's only about a year old. He's the baby, and he weighs about 100 pounds, maybe a little bit more. And he's a deaf dog. They're all 3 are rescues. And Lizzie and Gussie, they go at about 70-pound clip each. So I'm kind of outweighed. You know, they had me by a couple of pounds, but it's not fair because there's 12 legs they got going for them. And they're walking me around, and I only have 2 legs. So, and then we came across, they got bugs out here. They have these cockroaches the size of Chicago. I mean, unbelievable big. So my dogs, instead of chasing them, or they will chase them, but they want to play with them. Not very good as pest control dogs. So, getting back to the belief systems and what the eye sees, I mentioned in my blog that sometimes you see things that aren't there, and sometimes what is there you don't see. And everybody's different, because what happens in their neural cortexes of their mind, depending on their conditioning, their BS, their belief systems, they're prone to accept whatever is part of their conditioning. Not everybody can take reality by sight. So what happened to me, I was going to share a story with you about that. One time I was out on a date, a sweet lady, and she was driving her car. I was in Los Angeles. I traveled there from New York, and I went on a date with her. And we're driving down Fairfax Boulevard. And at first glance, I thought I saw her doing something really strange. She's putting on her eye makeup as she's driving. I thought, oh my goodness. And this is going on for about 5-10 minutes. I mean, how much eye makeup can you put on? So, I looked again, and it turned out she was an acupuncturist. She wasn't putting on eye makeup. She was taking this needle about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, and she's sticking it in her eye and twirling it around, and while she's driving. Amazing. Totally amazing. I mean, you had to be there. And I begged her to stop the car, and she subsided. So, again, the question is, can I tell a story? In the seminar, these two people meet, and inside the seminar, they're invited to the seminar via a very strange, excuse me, a very strange affiliate sponsor of the people putting on the seminar. And the name of the seminar that they're attending is called the 50 Passageways to Riches. So, inside the seminar and outside, she's a skeptic. She's an aspiring actress trying to make a bunch of money, learning how to make a bunch of money, and the seminar offers that kind of information, as it does in my book. So, and the way the seminar is described in the book, it's very much like many of the seminars I've attended, and I have attended many seminars. My background with seminars goes back to the 60s. I've taken seminars. In fact, in my book I tried to list acknowledgments of people that were mentors and people I learned from, and I had to write some of them down, but I've attended seminars and learned from Stephen Pierce, Ryan Dice, Robert Sheeman, Anthony Robbins, Carlton Sheets, Dale Carnegie, Marshall Silver, Ron LeGrand, Joe Girard, Deepak Chopra, Coach Sean Payton, Lynn McTaggart, Dr. Eric Pearl, David Hancock, Donald Trump, Tamara Lowe, Jody Santangelo, Robert Kiyosaki, Charles Givens, Dr. Brian Weiss, Russ Paley, Werner Erhard, Armin Moran, and it goes on and on. Former General and Secretary of State Colin Powell. And these are just a few, honestly. I'm a seminar junkie. I love going to seminars. There's always something else to learn. Even some of these guys, taught subject matters like unlimited power, real estate, how to win friends and influence people, passion, profit, power, real estate, motivation and sales, healing, guerrilla marketing, motivation, positive affirmation, hypnosis, and all of which I'm interested in. And like I say, I've been attending seminars since the 60s, and actually I lived and learned 24/7 in a seminary. And a seminar is actually, by definition, it is a definition to the word seminary. I mean, to list the people I studied under these great rabbanim when I was in, it was a rabbinical seminary, and I learned, golly, from some fantastic. A day was about 16 hours of study in 4 different languages and deep philosophical concepts and languages that I had to learn. I was a little older than most of the yeshiva, it's called, seminary students that were there. But one of my teachers is, I mean, these were great Rabbanim, and they're not classes that you're attending. Well, they are classes, but they're called shiurim. And a shir is, literally, it means a song. But they were like 1-2 hour classes, and one of my teachers was a very well esteemed rabbi. He was Harav HaGaon. A Gaon is somebody super special who has just a brilliant memory capability of retaining everything he reads. Something like my father, actually. But Harav HaGaon, Rabbi Goldberg, I wanted to acknowledge him. I mean, what a fantastic teacher. He was also the Rosh Hashiva, or the principal of the school. And I had him for an instructor for several years, and he was fantastic. But many mentors I've been blessed to have had. My father, who spoke 14 languages and had perfect retention himself. He loved science, he loved to read. So it was kind of like cheating, you know, to learn 14 languages. If you got perfect retention, you pick up a book in a foreign language and you learn the language. So, my book, I wanted to share a mission statement I have, and this really is true. I'm also an environmentalist besides a seminarist. And I've lectured on basic green building technology and sustainable environmental situations. I have a goal of extending life here on this planet, and also enhancing the quality of life on this planet. There are some environmental issues discussed also in the book. And there's more than one seminar, by the way, that occurs in the book called The Seminar. There's quite a few things that happen during breaks, after the day is over. It's a weekend-long seminar. And in a 72-hour period, the narrator of the book, Esther, she has some pretty wild experiences. The seminar, she narrates the entire story, describes the seminar in great detail, and quite a bit is going on. So a little sci-fi, some romance, some humor. Although I've been accused of being a serious person by one of my ex-wives, and I don't know, I don't necessarily see that, but there is a time to be serious. And one of the reasons I wrote this book, of course I've had some seminar experiences that the book is based on, pretty much, and a lot of the seminar information that I give out in the book, that I tell in the book, is based on seminars that I've been to. But by the same token, I've added a little bit. I describe a type of motivational tool that I call normal psychoneurophysiology, kind of similar to NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, but a little more intense and a little more enhanced. Excuse me. So another thing about this book, the content in there is quite valuable. I mean, you got an entertaining story going on, a fiction story, but the content within the seminar itself, these 50 passageways to riches. Like I said, it's so timely now that that there's some very, very valuable concepts explained in the book. And my thing about wanting to share it with the world is kind of related to, I'm big on quotes. And you remember Danny Thomas? He said that success really has nothing to do with what you gain in life or accomplish for yourself. It's what you do for others. And I really do want you to pick this book up. Buy the book. Yeah, that's going to maybe make me rich. But most important, I mean, it's for sale. It's like, I think right now you can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, like between 10 and 12 bucks. The list price, I think, is $17.95. well worth 10 times that for the content. Um, and the book, you know, one thing about seminars, in my lifetime, all of the seminars and even seminary for me, something always really strange, really magical, undescribable seems to happen to me right before, during, or after every seminar I've ever been to. And that was true for me in seminary as well. I had some incredible experiences. I lived in a Hasidic community. Our Rebbe, when he was alive, may his soul be with us now. And he is with me in many ways. He's considered a makubal, meaning a receiver, and he was able to predict certain situations before they happened. People would call him from all over the world, like if a hurricane was coming, or people asking advice, should they stay, should they go, and just the stories are vast and absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, I don't really get to any of too much of my rabbinical experiences in the book, but I do share some spiritual concepts. However, it's mainly related, the nonfiction content is mainly related to 50 passageways to riches. So you know what, I'm getting pretty tired right now. I ate this meal and I can't believe I must have eaten, well, I saved about a pound, so we put away about 4 pounds of meat, and I did share some with the dogs, maybe a pound. But it's all relative to my diet. It's okay. I feel great, and the dogs just took me for a walk. I had my midnight stroll. But I'm going to sign off right now, and thanks for being with me. I hope I might have answered some of your questions as to why I wrote the book. It truly is for you, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're here, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.